Hello, everyone. You're listening to the Art of Reinvention podcast show. This show focuses on helping you become the best version of yourself by producing thought-provoking and life-changing content. Here's your host, TeflonJohn.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy, TeflonJohn, coming to you on this beautiful day in April. Yeah, man, what else can I say? It's beautiful. You got to get out and really enjoy that weather, man. Spring is here. Spring is coming. And I'm telling you, you really got to get out there and enjoy it. You know, today's episode, we're just going to talk about enjoy the moment. You really got to live in the moment. I can't say that anymore. You really got to live in the moment. Take advantage of it because life will hit you. Situations in life will arise and there's nothing that you can do about it but deal with it. But while you have all the activity in your limbs, while you have, a sound mind, while you're in the right mental state, go after what you want to go after, because once life comes, there's really nothing that you can do but deal with it. And while we're, fully active in our body, without a lot of ailments, without a lot of health issues, it's our time to go after it, right? And who's our time? Whoever's listening to this, I don't care about your age. I don't care about your race, your background, or whatever it is. You need to go after it because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. You don't owe it to anybody else but you to go after what you want to do in life. And I would say between the last episode and this episode, it's been a layoff. I had a lot of serious things going on in life and things really could have went left. I mean, I thank God that it didn't, but things really could have went left. And it's really got me in this new perspective of doing what I have to do while I have time, whether that's patch up relationships, whether that's, going after dreams, whether it's giving forgiveness, whatever that means, you have to do it while you have time. And even if it's a personal branding thing, like I'm starting a new brand called Infinite Media, and it's going to be, the accumulation of everything that I've done to get this brand going, video, how to start a podcast, really answering those questions to people, hopefully building that brand so where it could give me more equipment, so where it could, create more financial freedom and run a successful business. Because now I realize that everything and all the struggles of my life wasn't by accident. It was ordained for me to go through. Every struggle that I had with this podcast, this vision, this brand, doing videos by myself, editing videos, starting a podcast, doing things wrong, doing things right. All that is now packaged to where I can create content and try to monetize that content to answer questions that I had asked and no one could answer. And so I had been pondering doing this brand for so long, just thinking and overthinking to the point where I was getting at, I think it's analysis paralysis, but I want to say I took that to phase 2 because I'm actually thinking about things, right? But I fell in love with just looking up gear. I fell in love with just watching YouTube videos about gear. I fell in love about watching YouTube videos on how to start. To where I didn't start, I was just paralyzed by that, and I started to love and have this feeling of, I guess, a dopamine rush of just watching videos and looking up gear and never really buying or never really doing anything. And then life hits, right? Going back to how we started this podcast episode, life hits, and it made me realize if life hits at a certain moment, it could be all over. You could lose your ability to speak. You could lose your ability to articulate. You could lose your ability to have gear and equipment because of house fire or some type of natural disaster. COVID-19, things could really change. So what you have to do is just act upon it. Take that first step. Just go. Take the first step and just go, because you don't want to get somewhere and realize, man, I could have been doing this a long time ago. And then you don't want to miss that opportunity because time waits for no man, right? The thing I love about an hourglass is once you turn it over, you can't put your finger in the glass to clog the hole and say, wait a minute, let's pause. It's going to flow until time is gone. And so that hourglass, that representation should remind you that it's an hourglass that's already been set up for your life, right? It has a certain amount of sand in it. I don't know how much sand it is. You don't know how much sand it is, but it's a certain amount. And because we don't know how much sand is in our own hourglass, that should be that catalyst of getting things going. That should be that external motivator to actually doing things, because procrastination is real. And I think procrastination is the cancer that kills all dreams, right? Outside of fear and some other things. But I think procrastination is the fear that kills all dreams. And this is why I say this, right? Let's say you got a goal. You say you have a dream, right? It's a big dream. Part of your dream involves small steps that have to be covered, like going back to school, starting an LLC or whatever it may be, right? The fact that you're thinking about going back to school and procrastinating, it could be a set window where the industry that you're trying to affect, this could be it. This could be that hotline before COVID or before a pandemic, something that shifts that industry, right? And so realize that you must do it now, because all the ideas and all the innovation that you have is really for right now. You're going for the current situation. So waiting years down the road, right? Things may shift. You may have other corporate giants come into this game, come into your industry where now you need more money for startup. There's more competition, and you want to hit the ground while it's fresh, right? And sometimes we don't move because we're listening to people, man. And I've been guilty of this too. We're listening to people that are not doing anything close to what we're doing, right? We're listening to people that work 9 to 5s, nothing against that. And they come home and they have a little bit of personal time and they go back to work and they're happy with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are a creative person, a content creator, an entrepreneur, right? A dreamer, you must hang around other content creators, entrepreneurs and dreamers, because they're going to understand your language. Trust me, they are going to understand your language. So you need to continue to search for groups. If you don't have anybody locally around you, a sister or brother or spouse or whatever that's into what you're into, search for Facebook groups or something, because there's always somebody out there that thinks like you and that understands you. You just got to find them. I know with COVID, everybody's been inside, and I know it can be depressing if you're not really exchanging dialogue with people that have the same thoughts and share the same ambitions as you, because now you're in this box. And what you need to do is realize that in that box, a lot can be done, because you have to write your plan and schedule it and put it on paper. Because like I said earlier, while you have the activity of your limbs, while you're in your right mind, while you have the gear, while you have the time, and most of all, while you have the health and energy, go after it. Because there could be a shift in the industry. There could be a shift in you, where now in this season of your life, you have a child or you have some type of life change where you can't put as much time into your dream, or you can't put as much time into your goals like you want to. So right now, while everything's in a calm state for you, I hope that is, I pray that is, while, your kids are going to school and you don't have daycare, or you're working from home and your kids are at home, this may be the perfect opportunity. And I don't know how long this window is going to be open, because if you're working from home, you're already in that environment. So you can try to come up with the schedule that you can work on your goals and dreams now. What better opportunity would you have than working from home, where you can get right off and switch while you're already in the computer mode, switch to your personal laptop, your iPad, and get at it, right? You can set up a camera, turn your office into a YouTube setup. So now once you finish working, you can turn the camera and go at it. And you don't always have to chop the tree down on the first day, right? All this is done in the process. Do it in chops. And so what I want you to do is continue to realize that, there's always something that you can do for your dreams. There's always something that you can do for your goals. So don't get lost in this mentality that, everything has to be done in one day, and stop comparing yourself to other people, especially people on social media. You know what I mean? Social media can become smoke and mirrors. It's just like going into, it's like going to a prom, right? I know when I went to prom, that was the best version of me you're probably going to see all year, because I'm getting the freshest haircut. I've rented this nice suit or a tuxedo with the shoes, you know what I'm saying? Probably got on some fresh cologne. The car's washed and waxed. Females, they got on the nice makeup, the nice prom dress. They're probably not going to look like that again all year unless they go to a wedding. Social media is the same way. You can't judge people off of 2 milliseconds of their life. Stop feeling depressed about that. Stop it. Just stop it. Everyone's real, and brands are going to be, making it and succeeding, you know what I'm saying, by authenticity, just being authentic. So you have to put yourself in a boat where you got to realize, look, this is me, this is who I am, and the blemishes I have on my face, the color of my skin, the way I talk, the way I stutter, it is what it is. Like, this is who I am. Like, people have to accept it, and people that don't accept it, guess what? There's always somebody out there that will accept you for who you are. I'm serious. Me, I'm a motivational speaker, content creator, marketer, and I stutter sometimes. It's something that I've done since I was a child, but I've come to the realization that this is me, this is who I am. So I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, sit back and not do content because I have a speech impediment. If it happens, it happens. But the most important thing is helping people. So once your why is there, once that purpose is there, it should overpower any security that you have, right? And so, like I said, that was this podcast episode. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You can follow me on I am TeflonJohn on Instagram, Facebook. It's TeflonJohn, so that's facebook.com/realTeflonJohn. Like I said, on Instagram, it's TeflonJohn. And on YouTube, you can catch all my content at TeflonJohn. And there's another channel called The Art of Reinvention. And I would love it if you got anything from this podcast episode, if you can subscribe, if you can like it, you can leave a comment on Google Play, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. And not only that, if you can just share it with your friends, coworkers, and your family. I would greatly appreciate that. And so just sum everything up. Go after what you want. Do not let people get in your ear, and do it while you have time, while you're in the current state that you're in mentally, while your health is good, and while your mind is good. Go after it. And as I always say, one love, be blessed.
We would like to thank you for listening to this episode of The Art of Reinvention by TeflonJohn, and we encourage you to share this episode across all your social media platforms. And we also encourage you to visit our website at www.imteflonjohn.com and follow us on all our social media platforms at facebook.com/realteflonjohn, twitter.com/realteflonjohn, and instagram.com/realteflonjohn. And while you're on Facebook, go ahead and like our page so you can receive first-hand notifications every time we go live with the motivational video or any motivational content. And as I always say, one love, be blessed.